Hello, Kristin here with Books and Jams, and today I'm going to tell you my TBR books for the month of January. I have a pretty ambitious list here of books that I am hoping to get to this month, at least start this month, so I'm just going to jump right in. One of my goals for 2017 was to read one nonfiction book every month, and so this month I'm going to be starting with Sacred Rhythms by Ruth Barton. A few of my friends have read this book and have really liked it. So this is a book about spiritual disciplines and the importance of having regular spiritual discipline practice in your life, and that's something that I am very curious about and would like to implement more. I know many of you have been following me since I did Miracle Morning in November, and just trying to increase areas of prayer and meditation as a regular part of my day, and I think this book will be particularly helpful with that as I start a new year, and I've just heard a lot of really positive things about it. So I look forward to reading this and letting you know what I think. I have one book currently out from the library, so this was not originally on my TBR, but then I remembered that I had it, and it's the sequel for Wolf by Ryan Graudin, and it's called Blood for Blood. It is a rather thick book, but I know Wolf by Wolf I read through so quickly, and so I think this one I'll read pretty quickly as well. Wolf by Wolf was an alternate history as though the Axis powers won World War II, and it's about a girl named Yael who joined a motorcycle race in order to win and kill Hitler. So this is the sequel to that. We will follow and continue with her story. There was a nice little twist at the end of Wolf by Wolf that I'm looking forward to seeing how it plays out in this sequel. And I believe this is only a duology, which I love. So I'm looking forward to reading this in the month of January as well. I have two books here that are winter themed, and these are books for my shelf. Actually, almost all of these books are ones that are on my shelf, which I'm very excited for this year, is to be reading a lot more books that I own. So these two both have the word winter in the title. Winter Solstice by Rosamude Pilcher. I know Kate from Kate Howe and Katie from Life Between Words, and I think a few others were reading this starting last month, and I didn't get a chance to start it with them, and we don't really have snow on the ground, so I'm hoping on a snowy day this month to start this. So I know by the end of the month for sure we will have snow here in Massachusetts, so I will start this a little bit later in the month. Another book with winter in the title is Winter Garden by Kristin Hannah. I'm hoping to start reading through my pile of Kristin Hannah, and this one just seemed a good one to start with for the winter time. This one is about two sisters who both took very different paths in life, but when their mother falls ill, they return home, and I think the mother tells them a story that she used to tell them as children, but then it's seemingly a fairy tale retelling type of story, but she carries it on to the ending, which she had never really done when they were younger. So this is about storytelling and family and life. One of the sisters is determined to figure out the truth of this story, whether there's any truth to it or not. So it just sounds like it'll be a lovely read. On audiobook, I've already started listening to The Deathly Hallows by Harry Potter. I don't have the jacket of this one, which is very sad, but it was only $1 from my library, so I can't really complain. So this is the conclusion to the Harry Potter series. It was one of my goals in 2016 to complete the Harry Potter series, and I got very, very close. So this one will for sure be finished in January by listening to it on audiobook, and I know it's going to be very sad to be done again with this series, but then I'm looking forward to watching all of the movies. I don't know if I'll marathon them and kind of watch them all through quickly. We shall see. I am hoping to start book 2 of the Anne of Green Gables series by Ella Montgomery. This is Anne of Avonlea. This book is also covered in some of the movies, and so I'm just really excited about the story to continue. I'm not sure I'll finish it this month, but I'm hoping to get started with this one. Then I have 2 really short books because some of those are really chunkers, and so I may just need a break from some of those long books. And so this month I threw on my list The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Chobsky, and I've never read this book. It is very short, and I've heard a lot of positive things about it, and I honestly don't really know much about what it is, but I do know that it's a movie, so it'll be fun to read through this and then watch the movie. I also have The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman, and this was in one of my TBRs back in the fall, and it's actually a book that I started. I keep it, I'm going to just turn this, I keep it up on this part of my shelf, which is books that I have DNF'd not that long ago, well, over the last 6 months or so, and still want to read but just haven't finished. So I'm trying to pick up some of those books along the way, and so this is one that was on that shelf. So I will hopefully get through The Ocean at the End of the Lane in the month of January. Finally, on my list, I have a book that I'm very excited to get to. This was in my top 5 books that I hope to read in 2017 list from Vlogmas, and it is All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. And I'm really excited to read this, not only because I love World War II historical fiction, and this follows a 16-year-old girl who's blind who lives in a town in France, and also I think he's in his early 20s, a young man who is part of Hitler Youth. So I've just barely started it today. I'm very excited to dive into it. And what's exciting about this one is that I have started a read-along group on Goodreads, and many people, after I posted that video in December, said, I want to read that as well, about many of the books that I posted. So I'm starting a read-along group, and this is going to be the first book that I read along with you. So I will put a link down below to that Goodreads group, and I would love to have you join in. If this is a book that interests you, and you have had it on your TBR and you'd like to dive into it, I'm not really putting a time constraint on it, but this will be my January book to read along on my Goodreads group. So I'm going to be learning as I go of how to run that group, but I'm hoping that you'll participate with me and read it along and share your thoughts and any quotes that stand out to you and what do you think of the characters and all that jazz. So it'll be sort of like a buddy read, but as a group. So sort of, I guess, like a book club along the way. So please join in. The group is called Books and Jams Read Along. I would love to have you participate. Again, the link will be down below. So these are all the books that I hope to start in January, and that is a ridiculously big pile. But I'm very excited about all of them, and I know that I won't finish them all, or maybe I will. We shall see. I don't know how much time I'm going to have this month, but it's kind of a slower month at work, so maybe I'll get them done. But that is my ambitious TBR. I would love to have you join me in the Goodreads group for All the Light We Cannot See. And also let me know down below what you will be reading in the month of January. What's one book or 2 books that you're really looking forward to? I'd love to have you subscribe if you haven't yet already and be updated whenever I post a new video. And I'll be talking to you soon down in the comments. Bye!